Bengaluru roads have claimed another life, and it's not just an accident as some are trying to make it out to be. Potholes caused an accident. A lady died. She was a pillion rider on a two-wheeler. She was crushed to death when a truck went over her. Now, this happened in the Naina Dahali junction. The lady was wearing a helmet. She was riding pillion. The rider tried to swerve, tried to avoid a pothole. She fell down and a truck ran over her. This is the third pothole death in Bengaluru in the past 1 week. Taking more cognizance of the case, the Lokayukta P. Vishwanath Shetty has issued a direction to civic authorities to fill up all potholes in the next 15 days. But is that even possible? While 55 notices have been sent to 55 officials, reports have been sought in a week. The issue is there are more than 15,000 and counting potholes in Bengaluru. Can these be filled up in just 10 days or 15 days? Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is in the eye of a storm. He's now directed the Bangalore Municipal Corporation to repair all potholes in 10 days. The city, which at one point of time took pride in calling itself the Silicon Valley of India, has more than 15,000 and by some accounts 17,000 potholes and counting. The question is, who's responsible for this mess, whether it's toxic lakes or pothole-ridden roads in Bengaluru, and what's the solution? One rainfall and you have waterlogging and you have pothole roads. City comes to a grinding halt. Worse, lives are being lost, and you have ministers who are trying to say that this is an accident like any other accident and should not be combined with potholes. But look at those images on your television screen. Let's listen in to the Urban Development Minister of Karnataka, KJ George. KJ George says he sympathizes with the family, but will sympathy bring that lady back to life? Bengaluru, boom, or is it now going completely bust? Who is to blame for this civic mess in Bengaluru? That's our top focus story. Potholes plague the garden city, but do our netas care? That's the big question. I have India Today's Rohini Swami joining me on the broadcast. I also have Commander G.J. Singh. He's a citizen's voice on the broadcast, and Harish Bijur is a brand guru from Bengaluru. I want to, and D. Rupa, Commissioner Road Safety and Traffic, joins me on the broadcast. But Harish Bijur, I want to come to you first. Your take on the death on a Bengaluru road because of a pothole, where the minister says that it's an accident, don't link it to potholes.
Well, let me put it this way. Bengaluru, if you really look at it, has about 17,000 plus audited potholes today. And that means that, we must be the deepest in terms of per capita potholes. We have 647 potholes. 647 of us can actually own one pothole in the city. And that's deep. And I think the recent rains have actually aggravated it. If you really ask me, it's really about faulty construction. It's about roads that just don't match up to the expectations of a big city like Bengaluru. The white topping proposal today is a better one. And I think finally potholes have attracted the eyeballs. Yesterday, the CM was on at one of the potholes, inspecting it, and the Lokayukta action is certainly a positive one. I think we need to get going. These are, accidents happens because of different things. Accident happens when a two-wheeler rider wants to avoid a pothole. And I think those are not accidents. Those are public liability attached accidents. Okay. And I think we need to be sensitive to that.
Okay. D. Rupa, as Commissioner Road Safety and Traffic in Karnataka, what's the solution, madam, to these lives that are being lost on Bengaluru's roads?
Well, come every monsoon, the pothole problem increases, and that is also because of poor drainage. Now, that apart, the road construction agencies or the authorities have to be made criminally liable. Right now, we only book cases under IPC, and not all cases, because people don't come forward to name those agencies or the authorities, be it National Highway Authority for the National Highway, or the PWD for the state highways, or the corporation which is responsible for the construction of the city roads. So we need more teeth in the law, and there is Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill which is coming up in the Parliament. It is passed by Lok Sabha and it is with the Rajya Sabha now. And I hope these changes would be included. It is probably before the Select Committee. And we have recommended that criminal liability has to be fixed on these road construction agencies so that there is more teeth. Right now, we book under IPC, but they don't stand in the court of law. And there is also a need for these officers of these road construction authorities to continuously make rounds to know where the potholes are. And also now that it is digitally run, startups are there, the apps could be of help to inform the officers as to where the potholes have suddenly risen, because they just come up soon after the rain.
Ma'am, that's a very big point you're raising. So let's take this one by one. In the instance of this lady who died yesterday because of a pothole road, you are saying that a criminal case can be filed. So under what section, and since you're a senior police officer, madam, under what section of the IPC can a case be registered, and against whom?
Generally, yes, it can be registered under 304A, but they have to come forward to name the agency, that is the corporation, and the contractor, of course. But there are loopholes in the law, because it does not, earlier when we have done this and tried this, it does not stand in the court of law, because there are very many factors. The court will ask us, did they have the knowledge, was any time given to them, and many other factors. And that is why the law needs to be strengthened, and direct criminal liability and the punishment has to be fixed in the law. Hopefully, it gets done in the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, I'm hoping. And now also they can name the recent victims. They can name the agency or the authority, and the police will take it forward.
Madam, stay with me for a moment. Commander G.J. Singh, as a resident of Bengaluru, in your opinion, will this help if the Bengaluru Municipal Corporation, for example, or the contractor who built that stretch of road, they are made criminally liable for the loss of life on Bengaluru roads because of potholes, sir?
You see, this is yet to be seen. But the question here is that when we buy the vehicle, whether it's two-wheeler or four-wheelers, right in the beginning we pay taxes for 15 years. And that collection of money which is done is actually for exchange that the government will provide us good roads. But unfortunately, the roads that we see here in Bangalore are dotted all over with potholes. Like, for example, somebody just said now that the two-wheeler driver was trying to avoid one pothole. I want to ask them that where was he going? He was actually going from one pothole to another, because you find there are stretches of roads which are full of potholes. There is no way you can avoid them. They are dotted everywhere with the potholes. The condition is so bad that you just can't even drive a four-wheeler. You leave aside two-wheelers. Two-wheelers are having a very tough time, but even the four-wheelers. I have been driving all around Bangalore, and let me tell you, the condition of roads is so bad that it reflects on the administration, because they say that the traffic is a function is dependent upon the roads, and traffic mirrors the administration. It mirrors the quality of administration that you have.
Okay, so stay with me for a moment. I also have my colleague Rohini Swami joining me on this story. And Rohini, the Chief Minister is under pressure, so at this point of time he may say that all potholes need to be filled in 15 days. Is that even doable, or is this just for the sake of the cameras? You fill up these potholes for 15 days, and in the next 15 days, next rain, there'll be potholes again?
Absolutely, that's the point. It's doable. It's definitely doable, because what we also know is that it's not just about the administration or the BBMP taking it over. You have other agencies also who can help in this entire thing. You know, it's interesting to know even traffic constables or the police persons also, they have started filling potholes because they felt the loss of lives have happened. You know, Gaurav, the CM has said 15 days, but it's not the first time I've heard this deadline of 15 days. Not the first time we have reported about the deadlines being set. Several deadlines have been set earlier to fill potholes in the city, but they have not been done. Even if the patchwork is done, the quality of construction, we just heard Harish Bijur say the same thing. The quality of construction, the standard of materials used, absolutely not acceptable, because that is why if it was good quality, you wouldn't have the roads in the state you have. I actually decided to stand on the roads just to show you the kind of situation or the hazardous way people go. Now, if I can quickly show you, this was the rains yesterday were quite heavy in the night. A pothole or a road like this is going to be a hazardous. It's going to be hazardous for people. Let the two-wheelers, four-wheelers alone. Two-wheelers. Once you have water which is risen because of drainage issues, you're going to be losing lives because of this. So, you know, the number of times you have shown this obviously doesn't make any sense to the authorities, or they just want to turn a blind eye. So my point is here, number one, the authorities can wake up, not just because of the fact that the road that we keep reporting about it. There is a lot of citizen voices coming up. Maybe then, if the people, like we saw when it came to the frothing lakes of Bangalore, they took it upon themselves as citizen initiatives to say enough is enough. Maybe then they will be able to open their eyes. It's interesting. The Bangalore the urban minister said there is no lack of funds. Then where is the problem?
Where is the problem? Absolutely. Harish Bijur, how do you ensure accountability in the system? Because we heard KJ George there, the urban development minister, saying that funds are not a problem. Funds have been released, and yet year after year, week after week, it's the same story in Bengaluru, sir.
You know, the key question is, how seriously do we take public lives? The second key question is, how seriously do we take public liability? The third question is, how do citizens actually go after these cases and follow them up completely to fulfillment in terms of making a criminal liability out of the public organization which is responsible for it? The other issues really are, you know, filling a pothole is actually a band-aid solution. We are not really looking for band-aid solutions. The next rain and all 17,000 will become 34,000.
Yes.
We are really looking at better roads. You know, the white-top roads that we are talking about could be solutions. The basic point is that people must wake up and say that we must create good roads, first of all, maybe white-top roads. Secondly, public bodies must stop digging up these roads the moment the roads are set up. Recently, you know, we just have cobblestone roads put up on Church Street in Bengaluru, which is going to be inaugurated sometime in December. And I have tweeted out a challenge on my Twitter handle to say, let's guess when the cobblestones are going to be dug up first, by which public body, because that is a disease which needs to stop.
And is you know, corruption the reason, Madam Rupa? Because as Commissioner Road Safety and Traffic, you're looking into these aspects very closely, and it can't be nuclear science that we are unable to build roads that will withstand rain. All of Europe, it rains so much, and they have roads that can, you know, that withstand whether it's rainfall. There are no potholes there. So where is the problem at our end, Madam?
Definitely faulty construction, usage of poor materials. There is corruption angle definitely into it, and people must come forward to give cases of corruption under Corruption Prevention of Corruption Act. That should also be there hand in hand, along with making them criminally liable.
Okay, so people need to come forward and ensure. Komodo Jija saying, closing comments to you, sir, as a former soldier, what needs to be done to ensure that the government delivers and there is accountability in the system? Criminal action, as Commissioner Road Safety Rupa has suggested, Madam Rupa has suggested, that FIRs against those who build these roads and the ministers who sanction those roads if they're of poor quality?
You see, once the roads are constructed by the contractors, they are taken over by the government with a, you know, board. There is a board of officers from the BBMP. They go inspect and they ensure that the roads are made according to the terms and conditions that were laid down in the agreement. Therefore, once the government takes over, there is the contractor washes hands off. So therefore, I don't find this to be a solution that you should file a suit against the contractor. The question comes that we have to ensure right from top to bottom that the corruption is not there. As you very rightly hit the nail on its head, that they don't have problems in Europe, they don't have problems in a neighboring country like Singapore. The road withstand a torrential rains, but out here the quick fix is that they take little bit of clay and concrete, they fill the potholes, one slight rain, the clay washes away and you are back to square one. There doesn't seem to be any solution. What I now am reading in the media and the newspapers is that they're going to come up with a solution of cemented roads, and what they call is white cement layer will be put on it. This is yet to be seen, but I don't think there's going to be any white topping. I don't think there is going to be any solution there unless and until
no, India Today team, my colleague Rohini Swami will continue to track developments on the story very closely. Accountability is what is required. Lives cannot continue to be lost because of potholes. The image that you see on our television screen, that lady who lost her life, how many more is the question that Chief Minister Siddaramaiah needs to answer for this. And we'll track that story very closely. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. A quick break at this stage.